Alright, welcome back to Make It Mental, everybody. What you're looking at right there, if you watched any of the other videos where I took apart a snap-on drill and then you see some pieces, this right here is actually part of the chuck. This is a threaded end where like for example, that would be right there, this chuck inside, focus, that would be hidden in this area right in here. So this is what I'm working on, is this area underneath this plastic. So it starts off, it's got, I forget how big this square actually is. I mean, as far as depth, but I believe it's somewhere around 1/4 of an inch. Let's see if we can get some better light on this. Man, this lighting is just absolutely horrible. So it comes down basically 1/4 of an inch and then it rounds off somewhere in here down. So all I've done is I simply followed this path with my rotary tool and a grinding wheel, and then I ground it down. I wanted to leave enough space for a bearing so I can make a carrier bearing for it. And I just repeated that process 4 different times to get a somewhat decent square. And I buried it into this piece of wood right here because that metal gets freaking hot. So if you end up doing something like this, it doesn't necessarily have to be for RC cars, but if you're trying to follow a pathway and it's already got a preset pattern and you want to make it bigger for whatever reason, just very slowly rest it up against here. Then basically I just let gravity kind of take it. Then I can see with my eyes where the stone actually is. And I can tell that it's relatively flat up against the surface. And the more you use a stone, the more it gets rounded over. If you look at the part right here, well, closest to the metal, you can see it's slightly rounded over, whereas it was more square before, looking closer to the rotary side of the tool. In this particular case, because I don't know what the heck this went to anyway, this was part of the drill. Let me back out a little bit. Where did it go? There it is. This is part of the drill right here. Drop it everywhere. I'm able to check myself with this. This happens to be a nice little fit. Focus. There it is. And I can wiggle it back and forth and see that I have the same tolerances all the way around there. Now I'm going to leave it in the wood. Now I need to hack off about 1/4 of an inch away from the bearing. So right about where you see a little tiny notch right there is where I'm going to cut that. And that'll be all I need. And that should eliminate what I was thinking about doing, was removing part of this transmission. And I really like the novelty of being able to change gears. So by removing that much of that is unnecessary, that will give me still good strength to be able to get inside there into that square notch. And if I have to cut it down even more, this threaded area right here, I can cut down even more. It almost goes to this 3/4 plywood. It probably would have if I wanted to force it, but I can cut down the threaded area some more. So I think there's space to be gained there. So if you're modifying anything with metal, you need to grind it down, reshape it. Just to recap, take your time, go slowly, don't force the tool. If the metal you're grinding on is turning blue, gold, smoking orange, red hot, stop. You're pressing too hard. The tool is slowing down, glowing red, turning blue, stop. You're going too hard. Let the tool do the work. You hear the tool just like from a nice smooth to like really struggling. You're pressing too hard. Let the tool do the work. Let the stone do the work. Let the saw do the work. Whatever the case may be. Even on a table saw, you're trying to force it through as fast as you can. You're just asking for trouble, and you're wearing out parts faster. Same with drill bits. I've seen a lot of people over the years, they think, oh, I got to put that drill bit on high speed, high power, and just smoke the living shit out of everything. Put a few drops of oil on there, go slowly. Your bit will last a lot longer. Medium pressure, medium to light pressure, and everything will be hunky-dory.